Okay, here is what Mark has made for the keys to success.
Hey, Mike, what do you call a guy with a car on his head?
I don't know, Tracy. What do you call a guy with a car on his head?
Jack.
Get ready, gearheads. Season 2 of The Lugnuts premieres October 28th, only on Wrench TV.
All right. I'm not going to dive in with too much detail here, but a few things I like. I'm liking seeing the shadows here moving along with our people at the end of the piece. I like the way that the clouds are drifting in the sky. There's some nice animation on the logo. The background elements seem to be moving appropriately, which, as many of you found, is rather tricky and it doesn't always happen properly. But the key of this is the roto and the keying, and that gosh darn wig that I just despise. Mark has done a really nice job here. I see very little in the way of problems. Maybe the key is a little bit strong at some points here, but nothing too crazy. And he's done a really nice job, and the solid areas in the car are all working out nicely as well. Things seem to be rotoed and keyed appropriately. Not noticing holes. Yeah, that's just the light. That's not the background object. Very nice work, Mark. Next up, we have Jolyn. Oh, and Jolyn messaged me and said that the export did not have audio, so we get to listen to myself narrating. Maybe I should tell a better pun. Well, if I'd prepared a better pun, I would tell it. Okay, so there is the hint of a shadow here in the texture, but it's not necessarily a focus, and that works because it's a cartoon world. I don't care. Jolyn has added a very nice headlight effect here. I like the way that looks. A few background issues going on with the items, not some of them moving, some of them not. That isn't really the focus of the project, but it certainly is distracting and should be fixed at some point. But as far as the keying and the roto goes, I really like the way the detail in the hair is preserved here. This is a really good example. This shot looks really nice. The wide is pretty good as well. I think that's working out. I don't envy you having to key out this monstrosity, but Mark really did have some amazingly detailed instruction on how to do it properly. So aside from like the background glitches, this example looks pretty great. Okay, next up we have Ryan.
Hey, Mike, what do you call a guy with a car on his head?
I don't know, Tracy. What do you call a guy with a car on his head?
Jack.
Get ready, gearheads. Season 2 of The Lugnuts premieres October 28th, only on Wrench TV.
Okay, so it looks like this last shot is not quite done. We're seeing a few artifacts around the legs where masks have been started but not fully animated yet. And we don't have any hint of shadows or anything under the car. We've got a few little rough edges to be cleaned up, and the windows need to be keyed out or masked out. But that could be a function of running out of time or something like that. I'm liking the keying overall, though. Like, this shot looks pretty perfect. Oh, except we're seeing a little bit of the background showing through the seat here. And that is something that can be fixed, especially in this locked down shot. I don't think the camera or the car is really moving that much. So a simple mask will fix that problem. And so I'm looking for the same thing in this shot, but it looks like the light passing. Yeah, it looks okay. Oh, no, there's some background stuff passing through this piece of the car right here. So just look out for that. Also with this mirror, you can probably draw a mask and track the areas surrounding it like Mark showed in the lesson. And again, we have issues with background objects, some of them moving, some of them not, so you get kind of or you have them holding still and then beginning to move right about here. So I think that was a pretty common problem. I think it has to do with the motion tiling and all that stuff. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. I do like the fact that the background has a nice little blur on it. That looks really nice. And the key which is again the main focus of the exercise, looks really great actually. I think the color grade on this is a bit dark. We lose a lot of detail, but that may hide a little bit of imperfection in the hair, so you kind of have the trade-offs there. Okay, that's lug nuts.